Hi there, Tanya Ronkovich here. So it's coming up to 1 year since my mother passed away. And during a radio interview this week, we spoke about International Women's Day, and I mentioned my mum because I talked about her resilience. Now, I don't know about you, but my greatest teacher in resilience and getting up and just getting on with life, no matter how hard it is my mother. My parents both immigrated from the former Yugoslavia, and they endured unspeakable hardship during the Second World War and then when they came here to New Zealand. And I have so much respect for them for that. So this radio interview that is going to follow is a little bit about how you just need to look within. If you are struggling right now and you are wanting to give up hope, I'm going to invite you not to. And take the time to look at what you've already overcome in life. Take the time to look at the lessons that you've learned, if not from your mum, then from other role models. Don't give up, because just when you feel that it is unbearable, trust me, you will find that little bit extra to nudge forward, to get up and say, this isn't how the story is going to end for me. Okay, so sit back and listen to the radio interview. There's also so much more on my channel below to find out how to overcome adversity, find out how to stand up, rise up, transcend, transition into who you're meant to be. Don't waste your one precious life. Okay, bye for now.
Census Day today, and I do hope that you've got all the forms filled out and ticked the boxes. I mean, it's all day, so I think you've got until midnight. And well, yeah, I mean it's compulsory, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't. They're probably not going to knock on the door at midnight and say, "Have you done the forms yet?" Somebody who I'm sure has conscientiously filled in the forms. Tanya Unkovich joins me now. Tanya,
Hello.
have you done your forms? I'm checking up on you.
Yes, I did them a couple of hours ago, and the
Oh.
greatest satisfaction I got was to tick it off my list of things to do for this week. I finally ticked it off.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Well done, you. Nothing like a deadline. I think everybody's got the same thing on their to-do list today. Now, one of the questions that they ask you, and I think, to be fair, they've always asked this question. The questions come and go. They change it up from census to census. One question they always ask is male or female, although even that's a little bit weirder than it used to be. I'm male, you're female. Today we're talking about International Women's Day, celebrating womanhood generally.
Yes. I think it's actually tomorrow, isn't it? The 8th.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
I think we're celebrating it all week,
All
aren't
week.
we?
I mean, come on, all year. Why not?
Why not? Well, are you okay about that, though, Andrew?
No, I'm
on an international
I'm
Andrew
absolutely
Day.
fine. Well, no, look, seriously, I think more should be done. I'm not one of those guys that thinks I just have to apologise for everything. I'm quite secure in my particular gender. But yeah, I think a wonderful way that God created us, and wonderful to celebrate women, and I suppose recognise what that means for us as a society.
Yeah. And look, I can't help but think of our mothers. During this week, it is really reminding me of my mother, and some of my girlfriends have been talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Is we acknowledge their strength and what we got from them to help us be better women, to help us be better leaders, mothers, spouses,
Yeah.
And a lot of those lessons were just ingrained in us, and how grateful we are to have had such strong women examples in our lives.
Such wonderful role models, and I suppose that is the common denominator. At some point, we all have a mother, and I suppose it's also true that whilst it's great to be able to celebrate our mothers, some people perhaps struggle to see them as role models, but other wonderful women that are role models in our lives.
Yes. So there's always someone there who we can reflect on and go, how did this person make me feel? And how did they contribute to my growth? I always say there's good in everyone. There's good in all of us. And if we look a bit deeper, we can always find it. And I encourage people to also go within and see that goodness within and go, well, where did I get that from?
Yeah.
Who did I learn that from as well? I know I've got a few, but I must admit, as I'm getting older, I'm seeing my mother's mannerisms come out in me a lot. So
No, definitely. So, why is it important to have a role model? I mean, there may be some people listening at the moment going, I probably suppose I have, but have never really thought about it and put their finger on it before.
it's so easy for us to focus on what is not okay about us, our
Yeah,
self-esteem, our self-worth, and we're always looking outside of ourselves. And unfortunately, we go to social media and things like that, but I always
yeah.
encourage people to look a bit further. When you struggle within with your own feelings of lack of worth, then I say, go and have a look at other people who have done great things. And
hmm
sometimes that is a reminder for you to then look at yourself and go, actually, I've done that as well. We just forget. And so look at someone else out there or someone who you want to be a bit more like. And that does help us with building our own confidence and building our own belief in ourselves. Because sometimes all it is we just forget of our own greatness.
And I think that is so important as well to have role models and mentors, people that we look up to. And of course, we can be that for other people.
Yes, yes. And so it's a revolving thing, isn't it? The more we can grow from observing and learning from others, the more we can then stand in our own presence and be an example to others because there's always someone watching, right? Whether it be a young
Yeah.
teenage girl or someone younger looking up at us women. And it's about us standing with certainty and showing them how they can too stand in their own certainty as they grow, as they mature. So such an important part of paying it forward, but also just really don't forget about your own self.
No, it's so important indeed. And I suppose recognizing the value that you have, the role that women have in society, the difference that they make, owning that a little bit. And I suppose, as you say, tomorrow, International Women's Day, a wonderful time to celebrate that and to recognize the voice and the influence that women have.
Yes, and those words you just used, own it.
Yeah.
I often say to my clients, when you get out your front door, just own it. Own the day. Whatever your outcome is for the day, just own it as if it's already happened. And that's what I always encourage people to do. Own who you are. Really own it, not hide it. Stand up and shine and be a role model for someone else.
I think it is important, and I suppose if we look back over history, and this is perhaps why, we were saying beforehand, we're redressing a balance because there has been parts in our history where women haven't been acknowledged, haven't been perhaps as valued as much as they should have been. I mean, it was just over 100 years ago women weren't allowed to vote anywhere in the world. But I don't know, perhaps we need to restore the balance and recognise the significant and important role that women have in society.
Yeah, absolutely. And restoring that balance comes from each individual woman. When we start within and start standing up and owning our own space and owning our identity, then collectively you can do great things. And it sometimes just starts with one person, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
To
no,
create a movement. Yeah.
so important to be able to celebrate this, and fantastic that we're doing so on Rima all of this week. Tanya, happy International Women's Day to you. I think every day is a reason to celebrate, but for tomorrow in particular, if people wanted to find out more about the stuff that you do, because you really do bring the encouragement for people that are perhaps not feeling it today, they just need a little bit of a nudge in a positive direction. You've got lots of wonderful resources and encouragement online.
Yes, on my website, tanyaunkovich.com, or all over social media.